Hey guys, welcome to a new video. So today I'm going to be doing a part 2 of my no Game Pass house. Okay, so let's go ahead and start. So the first thing I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be adding the floor. It's going to be a small house, so I don't think there's going to be room for a living room at all, but I guess we'll just try to not put a living room in there, because it'll just be a kitchen, which is fine, but yeah, okay. So now I'm just going to do it one more time, and then we're going to move on to the next bedroom. Okay, now that's done. Now I'm just going to copy the color over. So I want this to be kind of like, just like a modern house, because I feel like it should be a modern house, so that's how I'm going to do it. Okay, so I'm just going to attempt to add this here as well. Okay, and then after I do that, I'm going to, let's see, okay, and I'm going to do it one more time. Okay, now I'm going to do this here as well. I guess the problem is that this was whole one wall. But, oh, actually, no, okay. So now that's done. Now I'm going to add this. So this is going to be quill gray, and then it's going to be these vertical planks. That's exactly pretty much what the outside is. Which, you know, I'm actually not going to do vertical planks. I actually want to do something else. So I'm going to do these here, I don't say it, but these planks here, and then I'm going to do the same thing, exact thing for the bedroom. And then here, I'm going to do fossil, and then do like the large mosaic tiles. Now that's done. Now I'm going to add some curtains here, and then we're going to go ahead and move on. So for the curtains, I'm just going to use these plain curtains. I'm going to make them medium stone gray, and then this is going to be the edge. Okay, and then I'm just going to do the exact same thing here, and here, and here. Okay, so now that's done. Now I'm going to start by, now I'm going to add some lights. For the lights, I think I'm going to add a light switch here. For the lights, I'm just going to add these ceiling lights. So I'm just going to add those two. Okay, and then I'm just going to do the exact same thing for the bedroom in here. This is a really small house, as you guys can tell. So yeah, okay. So now I'm just going to also do the same thing in here. I'm just going to add one in here. Okay, I'm going to see if that's right or two. Okay, there we go. Okay, so that's done. Now I'm going to go ahead and add a door. So for the door, I'm going to, let's see, I want to just add like this door, and then I'll add a door for the bathroom. Okay, so now that's done. Now I'm going to go ahead. Now I'm going to start by adding all the kitchen stuff. So the first thing I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be adding some counters. Okay, so for the counters, I'm just going to add this here, and then I'm going to make this real gray, and then it's going to be marble. Okay, and so now that's done. Now I'm going to go to appliances, and I'm going to put the fridge here, and then I'm going to put the stove here. Okay, so now that's done. Now I'm going to add a basic hood here. Okay, and then I'm just going to bring it forward a little bit. Okay, so now that's done. Now I'm going to, let me scoot it back a little bit. Okay, so now that's done. Now I'm going to add, let's see. Actually, I think I'm going to add another thing here, and then I'm going to move this over here, and then put this here. Okay, so that's done. Now I'm going to just put, so I'm just going to put this here. Okay, and then I'm going to add a sink here. Add a sink here. Okay, and then I'm going to make it white. Okay, now I'm going to go ahead and go, so right here is going to be like the little table area, so I'm just going to go to table, I'm going to go to chairs. Or should I put the sink? I guess I could put the sink here and have the chairs there. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna add actually the chairs here. Maybe. And so for the chairs, I'm just gonna use these simplicity stools here. Okay. So now that's done. Now I'm going to just make them fossil. Okay. And I'm gonna scoot them up just a little bit. Okay. Now that's done. Now I'm going to add some cabinets. So for the cabinets, I'm just gonna add these shaker cabinets here. Just gonna turn them around. Okay, and then I'm just going to add some here as well. Okay, and then on top of the fridge, I'm just going to add these here. Okay, and now I'm going to add this here. Okay, now that's done. Now I'm going to make these medium stone gray and then khaki. Okay, so now that's done. Now I'm going to add a little carpet here. Oh, it's actually a bathroom mat, but okay, and then I'm going to make it ghost gray, and I'm going to put it's gonna be plaid. Okay, and now, I think I should actually have the sink here. Okay, and so then it'll be just a little bit easier to reach stuff. So I'm just going to put that there, and I guess put that there. It's kind of really close together, but I can't really help that. Yeah, there we go. Okay, now that's done. Now I'm going to add, so come over here and I'm going to add like some more appliances stuff. So I'm going to add a microwave. Okay, and then I'm also going to add a blender and a toaster here. Okay, and then I'm going to go to kitchen stuff, and I'm going to have like cups of utensils, and then some, it's like some, is that two? That's two. Okay, and now I'm going to also just add some like glass jars here. Okay, so now that's done. Now I'm going to go ahead and add like a little plant here. I can add one there, and then I'm going to see, I think that's it for here, and then I'm going to just move on to in here. Okay, so in here I'm going to add a bed. So as you can tell, this room's really small. So I'm just going to add a bed here, and then now I'm going to make it white, and then I'm going to just make it classic carpet, make this light stone gray, and then this medium stone gray. Okay, and then I'm going to add a carpet. So for the carpet, I'm trying to do this simple round carpet. I'm going to add a picture frame here. Yeah, like this picture frame here. Okay, then I'm just going to make it beige. Okay, and then right here I'm going to add a little table here. Not really much room to add a table here, but I might be able to fit it here. So let's fit here. Yeah, well, okay. And then I'm just going to make it this color. Okay, so now that's done. Now I'm going to just add like some books on it or something. I think that's all I'm going to do for that. And then I'm just going to add some like a dresser or something on there, I think. So I'm just gonna add these books here, and then make it light stone gray and dark stone gray. Okay, and then now for here I'm going to just put a dresser and then maybe a mirror here possibly if we have any more room. So I'm just gonna add a simplicity dresser here, and then I'm going to make the color be dark stone gray and smoky gray. Okay, and then I'm going to put just like some seashells and some, let's see what else. Yeah, and then I guess some books here. Okay, and then I'm going to add some, see if I can add a mirror here. I don't know if I'll be able to add a mirror here or not. I don't know if it's gonna be too big. Well, maybe it's not. Okay, so I'm planning on adding just like this basic floor mirror here. Yeah, it doesn't look bad. Add that there. Okay. So that's done. Now right here, I'm just gonna add some books and stuff, and then I think that's it. That's what I'm gonna add. So I'm just gonna add like some of these. Okay, then just make fossil colored. Okay, so now that's done. Now I'm going to move on to the bathroom. So here's the bathroom. As you can tell, it's really small. So the first thing I'm going to do is go to plumbing, and I'm going to just add this hygienic shower right here. Actually, add it right here. Okay, and then I'm going to, okay, now that's done. Now I'm going to add a sink. So for the sink, I'm just going to go with this industrial sink right here. Okay, and then I'm going to Darkstone Gray, and then I also need to add some soap here. I kind of forgot to add soap. I put a soap here, dispenser, and then also a soap dispenser here. Okay, now that's done. Now I'm going to move on to the toilet. So the toilet's going to be nothing so small, like you're not going to be able to get around. Okay, I can skip this over a little bit more, not too much more room. Okay, I'm just going to copy this from in here and put it here. Okay, so now that's done. Now I'm going to move that forward a little bit more, and then the toilet's just going to go here. And yeah, so I'm just going to put that, okay. I'm going to put this right here, and then add a toilet here, and then I think we will be done with the bathroom. Yeah, I guess that'll work here. Yeah, I think it'll have to be here. Okay, and so then I'm just going to move it over a little bit, and there, okay. And this is just going to be Darkstone Gray. Okay, this house came to a grand total of $11,849. So here she is. She's really small, and she's like pretty, like, it's a pretty good budget, honestly, $11,000. So yeah, okay, so here is the kitchen area, and this is going to be where you sit at. It's 2 seats, but anyway, yeah. And then here's some curtains and stuff like that, okay? And then you move into this area. Here is this area here, and, oh, it's cool. Here's this little bed area here, and this area here, okay? And then here is the very small cramped bathroom. Okay, guys, hope you guys enjoyed this video of a no Game Pass house. As far as I know, it's no Game Pass. But yeah, okay, guys, bye!